Namaskara. This is yet another video on the power of postposition series. Today we are going to look at the postposition ade. As usual, we'll use the known 15 verbs to understand how to use the postposition ade. Okay, he went to school without doing his homework. Right? Mane ಅಭ್ಯಾಸ ಮಾಡದೆ ಅವನು ಶಾಲೆ ಹೋದ. ಮಾಡದೆ ಮಾಡದೆ without doing ಮಾಡದೆ. Okay. He went away without seeing me. ಅವನು ನನ್ನನ್ನು ನೋಡದೆ ಹೋದ. ಅವನು ನನ್ನನ್ನು ದ್ವಿತೀಯ ವಿಭಕ್ತಿ ನಾನು ನನ್ನನ್ನು. Right? ಅವನು I am the object. ಅವನು is the subject. So object, you always have to use the annu vibhakti. Okay. So avanu nannannu ನೋಡದೆ ಹೋದ. She went away without telling the secret. ಅವಳು ರಹಸ್ಯ ಹೇಳದೆ ಹೋದಳು. He is speaking without hearing what I'm saying. ನಾನು ಹೇಳುವುದು ಕೇಳದೆ ಅವನು ಮಾತಾಡುತ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದಾನೆ. Okay, so this one we will spend a bit more time on it because I have other concepts other than this without hearing. First is you could see the wudu being used here. Heluvudu. Heluvudu means what I am saying. So you're taking that the verb saying, converting it into a noun. We have wudu was the first postposition that we learned, right? So wudu, when added to a verb, automatically converts that verb into a noun. Then you can start using it as a noun. What does it mean? Nanu heluvudu, that which I am saying. So that which I am saying becomes a object. So the saying is actually an action, it's a verb. But by adding vudu to it, it becomes that which I am saying. So you're pointing to that saying, right? So nanu heluvudu ಕೇಳದೆ. ಕೇಳು is to hear, without hearing. ಕೇಳದೆ ಅವನು ಮಾತಾಡುತ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದಾನೆ. This is continuous tense, present continuous tense. ಮಾತಾಡುತ್ತಾ is the first part. ಇದ್ದಾನೆ. ಇದ್ದಾನೆ is taken from ಇರು verb, right? So ಇದ್ದಾನೆ. He is speaking. You want to, so you use this continuous tense when you want to emphasize on the continuous nature of a particular action, right? So he kept on walking without seeing me. So ಅವನು ನನ್ನನ್ನು ನೋಡದೆ ಹೋಗುತ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದಾನೆ, or ನಡೆಯುತ್ತಾ. ನಡೆ is to walk. ನಡೆಯುತ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದಾನೆ. So this utta suffix for present continuous tense helps you to emphasize on the continuous nature of a particular action. He keeps on talking, right? That how will you say? ಮಾತಾಡುತ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದಾನೆ, right? Keeps on talking, right? So this continuous tense helps you with the um, emphasis on the continuousness. And also I've used the wudu here, so that's why I spent some time explaining this sentence. Okay, let's move on. Don't send the money without informing me. ನನಗೆ ತಿಳಿಸದೆ ದುಡ್ಡು ಕಳಿಸಬೇಡಿ. Right? ತಿಳಿಸದೆ, ತಿಳಿಸದೆ ದುಡ್ಡು ಕಳಿಸಬೇಡಿ. Again here you could see this ಬೇಡ, ಬೇಕು ಬೇಡ postposition is used. ಕಳಿಸಬೇಡ, right? Don't send. ಕಳಿಸಬೇಡ. ಕಳಿಸಬೇಡ, right? ಕಳಿಸಬೇಕು, like that. He gave her a gift. So sorry, ಕಳಿಸಬೇಡಿ, it is with respect. So whenever you talk to somebody, use ಬೇಡಿ. When you are talking about yourself, then you can say ಬೇಡ. Okay, ನಾನು ಈ ಕೆಲಸ ಮಾಡಬೇಡ. I don't have to do this work. ನಾನು ಈ ಕೆಲಸ ಮಾಡಬೇಡ, you can say. But ನೀವು ಈ ಕೆಲಸ ಮಾಡಬೇಡಿ. When you're talking to somebody in front of you, always give respect. So at that time, ನೀವು ಈ ಕೆಲಸ ಮಾಡಬೇಡಿ, you should say. Okay, he gave her a gift without showing me. ನನಗೆ ತೋರಿಸದೆ ಅವಳಿಗೆ ಒಂದು ಕೊಡುಗೆ ಕೊಟ್ಟ. Okay, ನನಗೆ, to me, ತೋರಿಸದೆ, without showing, right? Without showing me. ಅವಳಿಗೆ, to her, one, ಕೊಡುಗೆ means gift or prize, right? ಕೊಟ್ಟ is the past tense of kodu is to give, and it's a irregular verb in the past, that's why it becomes kotta. By the way, the koduge word, right, gift, comes from the verb kodu, right? Kodu with a ge will become koduge, meaning the object of giving. That's so even gift, the English word gift comes from give, right? Give become gift. Same concept. Kodu becomes koduge, and kotta is the past tense of kodu. He gave, so kotta. He went home without sending this parcel. ಈ ಪಾರ್ಸಲ್ ಕಳಿಸದೆ ಅವನು ಮನೆ ಹೋದ. Right? They returned to Bangalore without staying in Mysuru. ಮೈಸೂರಲ್ಲಿ ಇರದೆ, ಇರದೆ ಅವರು ಬೆಂಗಳೂರು ಹಿಂತಿರುಗಿದರು. Now ಹಿಂತಿರುಗು means it's made up of two words. ಹಿಂದೆ plus ತಿರುಗು. ತಿರುಗು is to turn. Okay? So ಹಿಂತಿರುಗು means to return. That is what hintirugu. Now hintirugu you can use for returning a book, or ನನ್ನ ಪಾತ್ರ ಹಿಂತಿರುಗಿದಳು. She returned my vessel. Hintirugu is to return. Okay, remember that. Okay, now Mysuru. Now this one thing, Mysuralli, in Mysore. Okay, this alli. The alli suffix when it comes to Mysuru, Bengaluru, there are two options of using the alli suffix. One is Mysuralli, you can say, or Bengaluralli. Some people will say Bengalurinalli. They will use na. Mysurinalli. In between they will use na. Both are fine. Both are okay to use. So he will not rest without becoming a champion. Okay. ಗೆದ್ದವನು ಆಗದೆ ಅವನು ಆರಲ್ಲ. ಆರು is to diminish. Aru is to basically to rest. Aru is to cool down. Literally it means to cool down. Okay. For example, ಹಾಲನ್ನು ಆರಿಸು. Cool the milk. Okay, milk is hot. Cool it before giving it to, say, the baby. Arisu. So arisu is to cool it down. Arisu is also used to, say, for example, a lamp is glowing and you want to extinguish the lamp, right? Then you can say arisu. You can even use the word arisu for your tube light, when the lights that you have at home. Switch off the light, you want to say, right? The perfect Kannada way of saying it is Deepavannu arisu. Deepa is light. Okay, so Deepavannu arisu. It means the lamp, the deepa that we light in front of God, right? That is also a deepa, and the tube light that we have at home is also a deepa, right? So arisu is to extinguish that light. So that's arisu. So here you can use it. It's not that he is not going to we are not saying he's not going to extinguish until he becomes a champion. We're saying he's not going to rest. He's not going to cool down because he's like all heated up and all what you call motivated to become champion, right? So that's how you say it. So geddavanu, gellu is the verb to win. Okay, geddavanu means one who has become a champion, one who has become a winner. That's geddavanu. Okay, the past tense of gellu is gedda. Okay, gedda avanu, gedda plus avanu, geddavanu. Then it becomes one who has become a champion. Geddavanu, geddavalu, right? Solu is to lose. So sotavanu means loser. Okay, so geddavanu, sotavanu. Okay, so geddavanu agade, agu agade, without becoming a geddavanu, avanu ಆರಲ್ಲ, ಆರು ಆರಲ್ಲ. ಆರಿಸು is to extinguish. Aru is to get extinguished, okay, or to get rest. So ಆರಲ್ಲ. ಗೆದ್ದವನು ಆಗದೆ ಅವನು ಆರಲ್ಲ. He does not return home without going to the temple. ದೇವಸ್ಥಾನ ಹೋಗದೆ ಅವನು ಮನೆ ಹಿಂತಿರುಗುವುದಿಲ್ಲ. So you see this here, ಹಿಂತಿರುಗು, I introduced ಹಿಂತಿರುಗು means to return. ಹಿಂತಿರುಗುವುದು, right? The wudu getting added. It is act of coming back, act of returning, right? ಹಿಂತಿರುಗುವುದು ಇಲ್ಲ. ಹಿಂತಿರುಗುವುದು ಇಲ್ಲ. The act of coming back is not happening. Is this ಹಿಂತಿರುಗುವುದಿಲ್ಲ? Okay, ಹೋಗು ಹೋಗದೆ. Let us see how many days you can be without coming this side. ಈ ಕಡೆ, ಕಡೆ means side. ಈ ಕಡೆ, this side. ಬರದೆ, ಬರು ಬರದೆ, without coming. ಎಷ್ಟು ದಿನಗಳು, ಎಷ್ಟು, how many ದಿನಗಳು, days. ಇರುತ್ತೀಯ, you stay, ಇರು, ಇರುತ್ತೀಯ. So you, I'm talking to you, second person. So ಇರುತ್ತೀಯ, right? Anta, anta means like that. Nodona. Nodona means let us see. We saw the ona suffix in the ona postposition in the previous video. That's why I purposely used nodona. Nodona means let us see. Okay. For example, somebody is asking you, okay, what decision shall we take? If you want to say, let us wait and see, then you will say, ಸ್ವಲ್ಪ ಸಮಯ wait ಮಾಡೋಣ, or wait ಮಾಡಿ ನೋಡೋಣ, right? Let's wait and see. ನೋಡೋಣ means let us see. Okay, you can use that. Okay, so ಎಷ್ಟು ದಿನಗಳು ಇರುತ್ತೀಯ? So here there are few things here. Anta. So this anta is used as a connecting word um, to connect a statement, right, which is said in a direct speech to an indirect speech. Okay, direct speech means okay, for example, what is a direct speech? Direct speech is, in English we say, right, he said go home. He said go home. Go home is the actual direct speech, but you are actually trying to convert that to an indirect speech, meaning somebody said go home and you are narrating it, and you will say he said go home, right? So you're taking exactly the words that he used, right? And then, which is basically go home. He literally said go home, right? And you are narrating it. So you will say, he said go home. That said, right, is this anta. Okay? How we say in English said is anta here. So, ಈ ಕಡೆ ಬರದೆ ಎಷ್ಟು ದಿನಗಳು ಇರುತ್ತೀಯ? This is literally the direct speech that that person used. It's a statement, right? Anta nodona. So this person who is saying to the other person who doesn't come this side, to the side where he lives, right? That to that person he is challenging him. Let's see how many days you don't come this side. So that's your anta. Okay. So anta is to convert direct speech to indirect speech. Okay. And it's also used to what you call to make a statement, right? So there also this anta, as you like see, like here, two people are talking here. Okay, the one person doesn't come that side at all. So this guy is pissed off that he doesn't come this side. So this guy is telling, how many days you don't come, let's see, right? Anta nodana. Let's see. Like that, how many days it happens. There you have this anta. So understanding this anta will take some time. So don't get frustrated if you don't understand completely where are all the usage. Okay. Maybe I'll create a video for such words, for words like anta, which takes some time to get warmed up. Sigu is also one of those verbs, right? Which the meaning is, you feel like you understand or you don't understand. It's like it's in between. You're not very confident. Anta is something similar. As you use it, you will understand it. So don't get frustrated. Okay, let's move on. He came home without bringing fruits. Hannugalu tarade. Hannu is fruits. Hannugalu tarade mane banda. Right? Taru tarade. Mane banda. Baru banda. Past tense. He came. Banda. Right? Tarade. Without bringing. Taru tarade. Okay. He left without taking change. Chillare. Change is change of money, right? Chillare. Togollade. Avanu hoda. Togollu togollade. Hogu hoda. Let us see where you go without getting caught to me. ಸೊ ನನ್ನ ಹತ್ತಿರ ಸಿಗದೆ ಎಲ್ಲಿ ಹೋಗುತ್ತೀಯಾ ಅಂತ ನೋಡೋಣ. I formed one more sentence which is similar to what we saw earlier, right? Let us see where you go. Okay. So ನನ್ನ ಹತ್ತಿರ ಸಿಗದೆ, without getting caught. ನನ್ನ ಹತ್ತಿರ ಸಿಗದೆ, ಸಿಗದೆ, without getting caught. ಎಲ್ಲಿ, where, ಹೋಗುತ್ತೀಯಾ, where will you go ಅಂತ, like that, ನೋಡೋಣ. Let us see. Without catching the morning bus, we will not reach on time. So this is like a example of how to use without in a conditional conjunction. Okay, we'll see this. Okay, ಬೆಳಗಿನ ಬಸ್ ಹಿಡಿಯದೆ ನಾವು ಸಮಯದಲ್ಲಿ ತಲುಪುವುದಿಲ್ಲ. ತಲುಪು is to reach. ತಲುಪುವುದು means act of reaching. ತಲುಪುವುದು ಇಲ್ಲ. The act of reaching is not going to happen. That is ತಲುಪುವುದಿಲ್ಲ. ಬೆಳಿಗ್ಗಿನ is early morning. Bus ಹಿಡಿಯದೆ. Without catching the hidi is to hold, catch. ಹಿಡಿಯದೆ. ಹಿಡಿಯದೆ. Ya has to be added because it's a e ending verb. ಹಿಡಿಯದೆ. ಸೊ ಬೆಳಗಿನ ಬಸ್ ಹಿಡಿಯದೆ ನಾವು ಸಮಯದಲ್ಲಿ, in time, ಸಮಯದಲ್ಲಿ, in time, ತಲುಪುವುದಿಲ್ಲ, reach, we will not reach. So this is an example of how to use without um, as a conjunction for a conditional statement. If this condition happens, then this condition, I mean, if this condition doesn't happen, this condition, I mean, this response will not happen. So it's a conditional thing. Okay, quick grammar tips on ade suffix. It implements the without of a verb. Okay, without by itself has a word in Kannada. I'll talk about that later. So when you add ade to a verb, it's as if like you're adding a without before the verb. Okay, that's what this ade does. All u ending, you have to remove the u and add ade. So madu, madade. All non-u ending, add ya. Hidi, hidiyade, like that. Can also be used as a conditional conjunction, which I gave as an example. Let's see one more example. ಮನೆ ಅಭ್ಯಾಸ ಮಾಡದೆ ಪಾಠಗಳು ಚೆನ್ನಾಗಿ ಅರ್ಥ ಆಗೋದಿಲ್ಲ. Without doing homework, lessons do not get understood. See, ಅರ್ಥ ಚೆನ್ನಾಗಿ ಅರ್ಥ ಆಗೋದಿಲ್ಲ means ಆಗುವುದು ಇಲ್ಲ. You're saying it in a what you call as a passive voice, right? In general, you're saying. So uh, it means if you don't do homework, I mean, without doing homework, lessons don't get understood is what literally it means, like literal translation. Because we don't say like that in English. We say without doing homework, I'm not able to understand lessons, right? I will not be able to understand lessons without doing homework. So this wudu suffix, right? That's the beauty of it. The wudu suffix completely removes the concept of tenses, right? Without using tenses, you can easily make sentences using the wudu and iddu. Wudu is basically the wudu postposition, and iddu is the past tense of wudu. Using these, you just remember what I said. Just as you continue to learn Kannada and what you call start speaking Kannada, this wudu and iddu will help you to avoid tenses, right? Whenever I get examples, I'll let you guys know. But that's basically what this Vudu and Iddu does. You will see a lot of people using this Vudu and Iddu purely because they don't want to get caught by the tenses. Because tenses, you have to be correct. You have to follow the subject, right? But if you try to keep it in this form, right, then you don't need there is no need for tenses. ಸೊ ಮನೆ ಅಭ್ಯಾಸ ಮಾಡದೆ ಪಾಠಗಳು ಚೆನ್ನಾಗಿ ಅರ್ಥ ಆಗು ಮೀನ್ಸ್ ಟು ಅಂಡರ್ಸ್ಟ್ಯಾಂಡ್, ಅರ್ಥ ಆಗೋದಿಲ್ಲ. Okay, one more literal meaning of without is this example. ಸರ್ಕರೆ ಇಲ್ಲದೆ ಕಾಫಿ ಕೊಡಿ. ಕೊಡು is to give. So you're saying give me coffee without sugar. ಸರ್ಕರೆ ಇಲ್ಲದೆ. Illade is a literal translation of the preposition without. Whereas the postposition without means it's basically something that gets added to a verb. Illade, right? Illade is coming from illa plus. So I hope it is clear. So try to get the concept and understand the concept of without being used as a postposition. ಧನ್ಯವಾದಗಳು.